The following is an animation of what happened to Cadia after it was destroyed, with a review at the end and spoilers for all those who want to watch the full video. Let's get into it.
Why do we linger in the shadows? Let's take their shuttle. Patience, mortal. You were wrong before. Wrong? It was always supposed to end like this. What do you mean? Your brothers didn't abandon you. They sacrificed you to me. Speak sense, creature. There is always a price to pay, Sariel. With the gods' blessing, your brothers tore themselves free of the Eye of Terror. And in pain, they knew what desperate bargains those of you left to die would make in the darkness. No. Please. Don't be naive, mortal. We are far past such idiocy. No one forced your hand. Now, where were we?
Droll, how long?
I don't know. It's been a while.
We need to get out of here.
Fragile. Weak.
This place. Our weakness. It is a monument to failure. The walls, they're whispering. The walls, they're whispering. Ozia, stop! I've gotta get off this rock! And we will, but you need to stop! Droll, we're going now!
But your pilgrimage isn't yet complete. We can take the shuttle. We can return to the Legion. I told you, your Legion is done with you. No, enough! We are leaving this rock. You chose to embrace me, Sariel. You welcomed this fate. But, very well. If leaving is what you desire, I tire of your craven puling. Cadia is not just a place. Cadia stands.
And what's awesome about this animation is obviously it showcases the Cadian Guard and the pilgrimages that different regiments perform back to Cadia, but also it covers one of my favorite Chaos Space Marines, the Possessed. Let's talk about them. The eternal damnation of Chaos Space Marines after the Horus Heresy was a saddening sight to behold. While many of these warriors were twisted by the corruption of chaos, others had it much, much worse. They were possessed by demons and mutated into horrific abominations. Such was the case for the once great warrior Delvarus of the World Eaters Traitor Legion. Battle Brother Delvarus was born on the jungle world of Novis Principa, which was conquered by the World Eaters Legion in the early decades of the Great Crusade. He quickly gained a reputation as a formidable fighter and eventually became undefeated in the Legion's fighting pits. As a matter of fact, he was paired with Sigismund of the Imperial Fists, and the pair won every fight to first blood in less than half a minute. That's how powerful of a close combat fighter he was. Delvarus was one of the few World Eaters not to shave his head. The discomfort of hair in his helm was irrelevant. He'd never cut his long black locks. This may have been a habit derived from his former culture. In the fighting pits, he always wore it loose. His dark skin marked his genesis in the jungles of whatever world he once called home. This showcased how no legion except the Ultramarines was as diverse as the World Eaters, colored by so many shades of skin from so many different worlds, reflecting a diversity of flesh overruled by the bonds of brotherhood. During the infamous Genna massacre, most of Delvarus' squad was wiped out by the Gennan robotic simulacrum, including his commander, Captain Barca. Though a mere sergeant, Delvarus was able to hold his own against the numberless hordes of the enemy. This elevated Delvarus to command the 44th Company, as well as the Triari, 5 elite companies of the World Eaters' finest shipboard warriors that excelled in void warfare and boarding actions far beyond traditional Legion training. All had sworn to defend the flagship Conqueror. However, after an unsanctioned planetary drop that left the Conqueror exposed to enemy borders comprised of Ultramarines above the war world of Armatura during the Shadow Crusade, Delvarus was shot by the flagship's mortal captain, Lotara Sarin, and then confined to his quarters. When he was finally released, he was forced to fight 26 blood duels in the Legion's fighting pits, contrary to the normal limit of 8 pit fights, before being humiliated when the apothecary Cargos the Bloodspitter spared his life in a sanguinis extremis duel. When the Legion finally succumbed to the full corruption of the blood god Khorne, Delvarus' humiliation continued as he was possessed by a demon, twisting his body into a horrific abomination with massive bat-like wings and a crown of thorns. As a possessed heretical Astarte, Delvarus' senses became demonically heightened to the point where he was able to track any prey across both the material realm and the warp. He became a relentless hunter, carving a bloody path wherever he went. He then led the Riven, a brutal Chaos warband comprised entirely of second-born possessed Chaos Space Marines just like himself. After the defeat of Horus in the Great Scouring, both he and the Riven later joined the Black Legion, and they became the guardians of Abaddon's flagship, the Vengeful Spirit. Delvarus met his fate during the First Black Crusade, when he was killed during the First Battle of Cadia by a prominent Death Guard Chaos Sorcerer during a boarding action aboard the Vengeful Spirit. And if you guys want to continue learning more about Chaos Space Marines, follow the link at the end of this video or check out the videos on the playlist. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Oh, what if you pick up my